Hi, my name is Vladislav Koulikov and let's train Russian Sambo. Hi, I'm Vlad Koulikov with Ultimate Sambo in Warwick, New York, and today we're going to cover chokes from all different positions. Once again, I'm going to try to put a different spin on those techniques, and I'm going to try to avoid traditional chokes, the ones you already know. Okay guys, we're going to cover so-called arm triangle or head and arm choke, or I call this one bicep choke. Katagatami, I think it's called in judo. Maybe just a little different, setup than usual. Once you're here, you're in a crossbody hold down, and team tries to push your head away, like such. Okay, like this. So go with him for a little while, because you want his arm to be as much extended as possible. Sometimes you're strong, and your posture is good, and he pushes you, and you're capable of holding his arm there. But why? Let him extend, okay? Let him push you. Let him, get the visibility of control, the image of control, illusion. There we go. He pushes, you let him push, and once it's extended or half extended, very quickly you release your hold and push this arm through, just like this. Okay, once again. He pushes, let him push your arm through, and instantly, like a woodpecker, you want to drop your head on the mat. The basic defense for this choke is going to be answer the telephone. Okay, so once team goes like this, once again, it's going to be very hard for me to gain leverage. So therefore, thank you, if I do that, I want to put my head as close to his head as possible to avoid, doing this. So here I am, I pushed, I regrab my hands, and I'm going to get on my knees, get in the tripod position like this. Drop my head low. Now, I'm going to jump over onto this side of his body, like this, and sit out in a scarf hold position, like such. Always try to keep your head as low as possible. And now we're going to squeeze. You have your partner like this, and you squeeze, okay? You don't leave him, you don't muscle him this way. You want to squeeze your arm into your head, and your head into this arm, like this. So once again, guys, you hear it, team pushes, you let him push like this. Push, drop your head, secure your hands, put your head on the mat maybe. Tripod, jump over, sit out. Now you can choke him like this, or if your arm length and his thickness of his body allow you, you can go into figure 4 hold and put hand either on top of his head or on top of your own. If you can put this hand on top of your own head, it's going to give you the ultimate leverage in this choke, like such. Alright guys, the way he's getting choked is with my arm on this side and with his own arm on this side. You see, it's very much like your leg triangle choke. That's why people call it arm triangle, like such. I constrict him from all directions, and there is no way for him to go. Leverage is applied from all over, like such, or like this. Alright guys, now we're going to work on headlock series. all right? If he shoots on me and I sprawl and I ended up in the front control like this. From this position, of course, your most common choke is going to be guillotine, and that's exactly why I'm going to forego it. Okay, guillotine meaning you have his head exclusively and you choke him like this or put him in your garden choke. Very commonly though, you're going to catch your partner's neck and his arm. Let's turn around. Very commonly you're going to catch your partner like this after you sprawl. Once you're here, some people still will go with guillotine. I was not successful, and lots of people are not successful with the guillotine with their arm inside, because the guy can alleviate the pressure. However, that's an awesome control, okay? And we're going to be working on that. So our first technique is guillotine with the leg over the neck. Okay, we got him caught like this. Our regular guillotine, I'm going to apply pressure like such with the blade of my forearm and reinforce it like such, right? Like you do an Achilles crunch. But in this case, with an arm, I'm going to grab myself like this in a hand sandwich position. It's crucial. That's the only hold that will work for this technique. Okay? So team shot, I grabbed him just the way I showed you. Next thing, guys, and you must exercise conscious effort. Sometimes you get carried away into progression, into movement, and you forget about simple things such as control. You have to squeeze your elbows together, okay? Pinch. Okay, otherwise he's gonna hip heist. Remember we covered a couple of defenses against the headlock, hip heist and picking out. So you here like this, elbows are never like such. You wanna pinch them. You wanna squeeze. You wanna squeeze him. And the second thing you wanna do, you wanna get your hips out from under him. Okay, elbows are super, super, super tight. And then we're moving on. Let's turn around again. So you hear one hand on team's neck, one hand in team's armpit. Once I'm here, I'm gonna stand up and try to drive into him with my toes. I wanna drive. In no holds barred, of course, you can try to strike him and stuff like this. But we've just been, working on Sambo tapes and grappling tapes. Forego the strikes. Once you hear this foot on the side of the neck, is gonna step right here. The deeper, the better. You have to step very, very deep. Okay, guys? It's crucial. You'll see why. I wanna step like this. You see, you can see my foot under him from his elbow, like this. And now I'm gonna drag my other foot like such, and I'm gonna sit literally on his head. Okay, my right thigh is gonna be on team's head, like this. My left leg is gonna come over like such to stop him from rolling. And all I have to do is just lean back, use my back muscles, and pull my lock into team's throat, like this. Team, would you please put your arm right here? Okay, guys, that's what's happening. Once again, note the grip of my hands, like this, right under his chin. And now with my leg on top of his head, I create immense amount of leverage. It's not your regular armpit hold anymore. I have a leg. Okay, he cannot pop his head free. This leg is here, and you sit back and apply the choke. If you lack control with your leg, team is gonna pop his head free, and you're gonna end up with a headlock, head and arm, and just lost a good position. Once again, team shot on me. Remember, I'll remind you once again, never grab him like this over. Always have headlock control or underhooks. So you stopped him, you sprawled, you grabbed yourself like this. Drive your grip into his throat, pinch your elbows together, like force feed his head into the mat like this, and once you're ready, step in, nice and deep, and now just sit back. Sit on his head and throw your left leg over his waist like a guard position. Once again, team, let's turn it to camera. No, not like this. Like this. That is what doing the choke. Okay guys, next choke is another headlock series choke, and a certain fighter made it very popular, but what we're going to do it with the gi. Okay, we're going to have to use your gi or your kurtka as your third arm. Once again, team shot on me. Let's turn around though. Team shot on me. I sprawled. Okay, I have his arm. What I'm going to do, I'm going to shock his arm by like this and try to grab his tricep. Like such, okay? So I have in the same control his head and his arm with only one arm. Next thing I want to do, guys, I'm going to grab my kurtka sleeve right here with my 4 fingers, okay? Not all 5, just 4 fingers. And I'm going to free it up like this. I'm going to roll it to my elbow. And then I'm going to put this hand as close as possible to Tim's head. If it's here, it's not good. Not good enough. Creep it up until, you know, the closer to his head, the better. Shoulder blades would be probably appropriate distance. Once you're here, look at your device. See? You have him like this, nice and tight. And once you're here, guys, you roll. Okay? And there's 2 ways to roll, and we'll cover both of them. The first one is just simply your, you know, quote-unquote unathletic roll. You fall on your back and you spin under him. And because of your severe grip, it's going to take him over. The pressure is going to take him over like this. For a split second, he's going to be on my head, and then I'm going to roll him off my head like this. Like such. We're going to end up like this. And once I'm here, I'm going to readjust my hips a little bit, walk towards him, and just squeeze. Squeeze. So it's like upside down bicep choke, guys. You see, once again, I'm trapping his arm inside my grip and his head, and I'm applying pressure with his own arm and my arm, and using my left sleeve as a third arm. Alright guys, you might use this very same technique in your next match. Once again, Nogueira made this technique very popular. Everybody's trying to do that. So once you reach here, people will not let you do a figure 4 thing. That's what he did, because it was a full contact fight and there was no gi. Okay? So right away, Timmy is going to try to, you know, bump his arm free like this. Yeah. But as long as I have gi, that's my third arm. I'm going to grab my kurtka and I don't care anymore. I'm good to go. I don't have to control his arm because I have my own third arm. Once I'm here, I'm going to start squeezing, squeeze, tight, and roll. The pressure is going to take your partner over. He's going to land on your head for a second. You dump him off your head, readjust your hips, and complete the technique. There we go. You here, adjust your hips and squeeze. Notice my grip once again. See guys? Here, here. And my chest is pushing in the back of his cranium, creating a little bit of a neck tilt as well. Okay? It's not, you know, hurting him too much, but it's definitely helping my choke to kick in a little faster. So I squeeze and I move. Alright guys, there's something you might want to change up about this technique, and it goes to all headlock rolling techniques. With the gi maybe it's not such a necessity, because once you have gi, you have very constricting grip. Without a gi, sometimes you're going to need some kind of other tool to make your technique more dynamic. And in our case, I'm talking about high leg, once again. Okay, what I did, I'm here, I start rolling. And for a second here, I'm going to be in a suspended position. Once again, some guys, including Tim, has very flexible trunk muscles. And, you know, every time I do rolling technique, it's like fighting a wall. He's very flexible. It's very hard to roll him over, okay? And if you do not have superior grip, And if somehow he changes it and it pops, you're gonna end up on the bottom, okay? So that's the downfall of the rolling technique. But what you're gonna do to fix this up, you're gonna do high leg. You're gonna go boom, explosive technique, okay? Like a hand grenade exploded under your butt. You're gonna whip him right over. So once you're here, you latch down with your hold like this. You're gonna push your head on the mat like this, okay? You want a tripod, and you want to do, you know, like an axe kick combined with a spinning hook kick with this leg, and yet remain on your forehead. That's the trick, okay? Like this. And this guy is gonna feel like on a roller coaster. He's gonna get up in the air, be on my chest, and I'm gonna dump him, okay? I'm not gonna roll him over. At almost no point he's on top of me. He's on top of me for a split second, as opposed to when I roll. When I roll, he stays on me, and then the grip kicks in, I crank up a little bit, and he rolls over. In this one, he goes instantly over, just like that. I'll let you down. Here, here. That's how I whip him over with a high leg. Another technique I really like, and it's quite similar, okay? That could be a pin, or if you switch up the grip a little bit, it could be a choke, and we're working on the chokes. So what you want to do, you want to grab him like this, and you want to grab his gi this way, like such, okay? And once he's here, he's going to try to stop you from like jumping into the guillotine or whatnot, the guillotine with the gi. He's going to be keeping away. He's going to be keeping away. But as long as you have this, you can do your rolling choke. You can do your undertow. So once you're here, shoot this underhook here like this. Once again, high leg, and flip him over. That's how you end up. And once you're here, keep up a little bit. Put your head against the back of his head. It's a very similar choke. Just done without the sleeves, it's done with the lapel. And pull up your elbow towards your hips. Follow along, guys. You might end up in this position, whatever. You stood up like this, the grip was here, and team shot, and you sprawled, okay? Or you actively pulled him in, whatever the case might be, you're here. Of course, what you can do right away, you can do guillotine like this. With the gi. But he knows that. That would be my priority technique. That's what I'll try right away. So once I'm here, team is going to be like a dog playing tag of war, getting away from me and controlling my hips. Okay? But I have to create some kind of leverage tool to finish the choke. I do not want to waste this grip. I feel it's going to work. I feel it's good. I feel I can do something, but not guillotine. What? And there we go, undertow. Shoot you under, hook, grab him, put your head down, tripod, high leg, whip him over. Readjust your hips and push with your belly or your chest in the back of his head and pull this one in. Next move is a pinning move, hold down move, gun submission. That's what you want to do, guys. You want to grab his chin like this, use his chin as a handle like such. Once again, after failed shoot or whatever. Sprawl once again. Get your legs away. Remember that at all times. Keep your elbow to your rib cage very tight. Every time your elbow is here, team is going to knee slide over here. And peel you off and all this stuff. So pinch the head like you want to squeeze a watermelon, okay? You want to start pulling on his chin. This hand, once again, underhooks, grabs his belt. You want to post yourself on your left leg in this case. And what you want to do, you have a superior leverage. Apply, yank on that head, make him feel uncomfortable. And you want to whip him over like this. Make sure, guys, you follow up. Because good guy, once he feels he's going, he'll try to roll through. And if I don't follow up, he's going to go up and roll through. Every time he changes his elevation 1 inch, I change my elevation 1 inch as well. I want to be very close with my hips to him. So I'm here like this. Let's change. And as I dump him, you see I'm glued. I'm glued to him. I go with him. I go with him. My hips right away drop on the mat. Because, what guys? If my hips are high, Tim is going to put his left knee under my belly. He's going to pull me in a guard or half guard. And I'm going to lose good leverage. Okay? Now I won't be able to impose my whole body weight on top of him. He'll be able to kick me off with his legs, you know, take the guard. So I have to put my pelvic to the mat and move away from his legs. Because that's going to be his defense right away. So be aware of that. Conscious awareness. Conscious effort. So here, chin grip. Under. Post yourself. As you're whipping him nice and gently, follow him. Pelvic drops. And from here you switch like you're doing a scarf hold. You switch your base. This leg is going to go in its hip like this. And it's a slow suffocation. You pull on the chin. Elbow is very tight. Very tight. If it's not tight, Tim is going to pop his head. So elbow is very tight to your body. Control him here. And don't lift him like this. If you lift him like this, A, he might be escaping. B, you alleviating the pressure. Keep his body pinned. Only apply pressure on his neck. In this way, straight down. And in this way, by pulling on his chin. Plus your body weight pushing into his chest. So he can exhale, but he cannot inhale anymore. Okay? That's what you do. This is not an all muscle technique, guys. Like every good technique, it might look muscly, but it's not. Because it's all designed on leverage. Okay, and angular approach. You hear, chin grab, tight grab, under hook, post yourself, follow with him, fall like this, pelvic down, switch your base, pull on the chin, bend the neck, compression on his chest. Guys, please note the hand grip right here. It's a natural handle for you, like this, this. Alright guys, that's another unorthodox choke down with the tip of your belt. Sometimes guys have good posture, sometimes they rest up and they go like this, you know, like turn the head and breathe like this. So what you want to do, you want to control him, keep him close to you, reach under, grab the top of your belt and grab it, loop it under. And there's two ways to complete this choke. Okay, you see you have awesome powerful leverage. This hand is going to sneak under, grab your own forearm, and now you arch your hips and you jam like this. So once again guys, try, you know, something unorthodox. If Tim rests on me like this, you know, control him with your right hand, grab the tip of the belt, lift it up. The higher you lift, the less slack you're going to give him, okay? So if you're like this, it's going to be some slack. Lift it, lift until you feel, you know, tag on your waist here, and grab it deep, like this. So Timmy, get up for a second. Here you are. With this hand, reach under, grab your own hand, out your hips, jam your forearm in your partner's throat. Little variation, guys. Once you looped here, what you can do, you can reach with the same hand and grab the tip and choke just with one hand only. Okay? Just like this. One hand choke. Guys, very often it's preached position before the submission. When generally I agree with this rule, yes, position does come before submission. In few rare cases, submission pops out of nowhere, or a position is it does not play any role. So you can apply submission from a bad position without working towards position first. So the first one is going to be a forearm choke versus south mount. So team puts me in a south mount like this, like such. Let's assume at this hold down when my arms are towards my legs, not this one. If it's this one, it's fine, only gonna have to pummel in. So once you're here, your arms are inside. Raise your leg like this, grab it across, and this hand is gonna come under your partner's and grab your own hand. Like this. Tim, would you rise up a little bit? Guys, that's the device right there. Okay, and once you're here, just jam your forearm. Your leg is going to stop his neck from rising up. Your right arm is going to stop him from moving right, and your leg is going to stop him from moving left. And your bottom forearm, which is left in this case, is going to apply the strangler. Guys, watch it again, okay? It's very doable. Team, just for demonstration's sake, yes, like this, so I can speak freely. You're going to raise your leg, okay? Get it on top of his neck, like such, like a triangle upside down or whatnot. And you want to grab it with your right hand. Left leg, right hand. Then your forearm is going to come under and grab your own hand, like this. So that's my device right here. That's my square. That's my box. And I'm going to jam this. I'm going to pull this and jam this like this. Leg up. Your left leg, grab with your right. Your left hand comes under, grabs. Watch the hand again, guys, and the leg and everything. It looks confusing. Now a little variation, more active variation of this choke, guys. As you start spinning and your arms are crossing, you drop on one knee, throw him, and apply same choke but from the top, now from conventional position. See? Okay, I pull this one here and that one there, and I apply my body weight so he doesn't wiggle. Alright guys, inverted triangle, one of the many entrings. Sometimes you find yourself in this position and guy either loops his arm like this to try to immobilize you, trying to let you on, or sometimes if he times it nicely, he can actually throw me over. So he hooks me like a single leg but face forward, and he bumps with his shoulder me forward and gets the position. And that's going to be my predicament. That's going to be my technique. So I'm here. As soon as he looped, before he moved, right away, guys, I want to like sit heavy on him, switch my center of gravity, maybe a little back, so I'm not flying forward. And right away, with my opposite hand, I want to lean in his armpit and grab my own ankle. Now, you see, if he wants to throw me, I don't care, because his arm is stopping me from falling over. Okay? It's my anchor. I'm a ship with an anchor, like this. That's your predicament. So let's turn around this way. There you are. If he wants to throw me, he can do it all he wants, like this. Okay, I go with him. I was not thrown off. Now once I'm here, Now once I'm here, you see how my hips under Tim's back? I'm gonna pop up a little bit. I'm gonna move my hips towards his head. Like this. I'm gonna hip out. As I do that, you see how my leg is coming up? My heel was in his chest. Now, my heel is coming towards his armpit. Like this. That's where I want my leg to be. My shin, my calf muscle is perpendicular to his body, under his chin. Now this leg comes over, figure 4, and goes under his butt. Grab the belt and either just squeeze, that could be sufficient if you tight, or you want to tilt his head, use the belt as a handle. Plus straight arm bar, plus elbow nut this way, elbow nut this way. Make sure you squeeze him tight so his shoulder is immobilized. If his shoulder is mobile, he can rotate all over like a dummy. So this way. Once again, guys, you hear whether he grabs you or you step here yourself, doesn't matter. Reach under to stop him from throwing you, grab your ankle and roll. Once you're here, move your hips from under him because he's gonna, lay on top of you. So you want to hip out, out, out as you tighten up your leg. Bring it across, figure 4, and apply inverted triangle. Alright guys, we're going to cover forearm scissor choke. Sometimes you find yourself in this position, modified scarf hold or regular scarf hold or crossbody, it doesn't matter, some kind of side control. And the guy starts trying to, he got here, yeah, and he wants to hip out and push your body off and so forth and so on. So, as soon as you feel his arm is sneaking here, like this, you have a green streak. So what you want to do, you want to pull this one arm out and put it like this. Elbow on his chest to keep control of him and hand here. Okay? With your other hand, you want to reach underneath and grab your own hand in a hand sandwich position again. Just like this. Now, once you're here, you want to drop your elbow. You see my elbow compresses into his chest or his collarbone, which is not a choke yet. I'm not choking his throat. So what I want to do, I want to shift a little bit and drop my elbow this way. So the pressure is applied directly to the neck and throat, not his chest anymore. Okay, so once again, over here, the guy pushes me off. There we go, and he's doing me a favor. Drop, under, secure, here, and now you're applying scissor choke. You see scissor-like motion. Left leg lifts up on his head, left arm, and right arm cuts down. Plus, guys, for additional benefit, push his head with your shoulder. Make it not just a choke, but a neck crank, like such. Once again, guys, your hands are intersected at one point. Thus, it allows you to move your elbows in a scissor-like motion, and your forearms are going to be your weapons. Okay? So you here, grab, drop your elbow. You see, rotate a little bit, drop your elbow right here. And you scissor, and you apply cervical pressure sideways. Maybe next time the guy tries to escape like this, you'll take advantage of that. So you're here, watch, my base stays the same, like a scarf hold. I can get on my knees, it doesn't matter. Make sure though, guys, that you, once again, don't lift him. You only tilt his neck and still applying pressure with your body mass on top of him. You want to stop him from moving around and from wiggling. Okay, you here, drop, we can stay like this. Apply pressure. Once again, guys, you're here and guy try to post and escape. So once he's here, you have a green light. just like during forearm scissor choke. So what you want to do, you want to hop up like this, grab both sides of the gi, like such, and hop on his neck. Shin across his neck. Once you're here, pop his head and pull it into your shin bone. Guys, note, you want to control his whole body. So as your shin is in his neck, this one is driving into him, and you sit on your butt on his body. Okay? Like this. And every time he tries to move and hip out, you want to readjust. You want to keep sitting heavy on him. Just like such. And you jam your shin into his throat and pull up. Once again, Tim wants to hip out, gets his elbow, starts working his leverage thing. I want to grab him so he doesn't hip out completely. Roll on top of him, and now his neck is free for my right leg. And I'm going to come like this and sit on him. Shin in, body weight distributed on top. Grab the head, both hands, lift it up. Alright guys, once you have kurtka or jacket, I always like to grab jacket. However, sometimes once we engage in stand-up wrestling, the guy grabs me behind my neck like this, you know, maybe a wrestler. There is not such a huge grassroots, you know, movement in America of Sambo. Lots of guys compete in Sambo, you know, being wrestlers or whatnot. So they maybe don't have very good understanding of kurtka play, and they go to traditional wrestling techniques, double leg singles, which work of course, and they're awesome, and head snaps. So let's say Timmy grabbed me behind the neck like this, okay? And what I'm going to do what they call in wrestling shot bite, okay? So once I'm here, watch, I'm going to put my arm like this, a bulldog hold I call, knuckles inside, and I want to hit him in his forearm, in his tricep area, elbow tricep area. And what I do, I don't bob like in boxing. I just tilt my head and let him pass by, okay? Like this. Once again, like this. As I do that, okay, that's the technique by itself. As I do that, I want to step up with my left leg in this case, like such. Okay, as I do this, I'll step up. The next movement, my right arm is gonna hug him this way, like such, okay? Grab him. So he's here, I'm gonna step and grab him here, like such. Once I'm here, I'm gonna reinforce the grip. I have superior control, and I'm gonna take him down with a head pinch. And once I'm here, I have my bicep chop. Once again, guys, in your conventional bicep choke, you guys on his back. In this case, he's a little bit sideways because my attack started sideways, and if I maintain my tightness, I'm going to end up sideways. And I'm going to jam my forearm in his neck like this, and I'm going to stop his mobility in his head, neck, and arm by pushing here, thus creating leverage. And I'm just going to jam this in like this. I don't have to figure four. This is good by itself, just like this, sideways. Okay, we're standing. Tim grabs me behind the neck. I'm going to step, shot, reach, grab him like this. Okay? Right away, I'm going to reinforce, and I'm sideways. Sometimes you can choke him standing up, just like this. You have a lot of leverage, okay? You can choke him standing up. Sometimes you want to work it on the mat. So what you want to do, just start rotating. He cannot stop himself. He's controlled, okay? I'm controlling his upper body, his arm, and I'm just going to whip him over, take him down. Note how I fall. I put my knee here so he cannot roll onto his back. So I hold him in a sideways position. I don't want to pin him. I don't want to put him on his back. So this stops him from moving this way. My lock is stopping him from moving the opposite way. And this leg is pushing into the technique as additional leverage. I'm driving my head into his. Alright guys, let's talk about infamous triangle choke. It's a very good, awesome choke, super effective, and it only gets better and better. Some people get better at applying it, and other people get better at defending. So let's look at it. The first line of defense is your posture. It's not actual escaping technique, it's the posture, like everywhere. Everything starts and finishes with position and posture. Once team tries to apply triangle on me, the first thing I want to do, of course, not stay like this low. I want to come up, I want to pull my arm in and straighten my body up. And here I can stay all day. He'll be wasting his energy. I have my wind tunnel here to breathe, and I'm good to go. If he does latch on, there is few techniques I utilize. I utilize 3 techniques. And if one might not work, go into another. You can use them in any sequence, in any combination, one after another. Don't stick to one. If one doesn't work, you have to move on. So the first one, very basic one. You see, the very idea of the triangle, he's twisting you sideways. You see how he positioned his body in order to lock his legs. He positioned his body like this, so which invites me to step over. Sometimes I'm capable of doing that. Sometimes I'm going to lean into it and step over with my left leg in this case. Step over, scoop his head, create pressure, and just pull out. Maybe work a leg lock like this. We'll do it again, guys. I guarantee you, if you practice grappling, sooner or later you'll find yourself there if you already hadn't. So team applies triangle, and it's locked, okay? It's locked. My posture failed me. My first line of defense failed me. His body, you see, is like this. It's very rollable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to roll into him, tripod on my head, step over, scoop his head, and apply pressure, generate leverage, and pop my head free. From here, possibly leg lock. Alright guys, sometimes guy puts you in a triangle and I want to do my first defense, but what's happening? I can't. He's so ball-like. Every time I try to step, he rotates away from me. Okay, I step and he rotates. Like this. Yeah, like I can't step over. So what I want to do, guys, I want to try to get up, stack him, and as I fall back, I want to grapevine one of my legs. 1, and then another. 2. Here I have leverage with my legs, and I'm just pulling out, popping his legs free. So once you're here, guys, try to flex your shoulders, raise your neck. You see, so you get a little space here. If team's near, yeah, you're no good here. Try to pummel through like this. Lift up. Remember about danger about being arm locked. Yes. So keep your arm bent and maybe grab his uniform like this, so you don't get elbow knotted either. And you want to rise up, stand up, and as you fall back, grapevine one leg and another leg. Now you have pressure, you have leverage. Bump. You escape the triangle. Alright, let's look how chokes can be used in a self-defense scenario. Guys, remember that chokes are ultimate self-defense tool in a fight. Because if the guy is drugged up or under influence or intoxicated, sometimes he does not feel pain. You can poke his eye out, you can break his arm, maybe he won't see and he won't be able to grab you with broken arm, but he still comes after you. But as long as you apply a good choke, no matter how crazy you are, no matter how much pain you do not feel, you're gonna go out to sleep or get killed. Okay? So remember that, and please be very careful. Always work under supervision of your master, of your instructor, and we'll go. Team is gonna grab man by lapel, so the situation is about to escalate, okay? If somebody penetrates your, your personal space, so to speak, this way, nothing good is about to happen, okay? After verbal, it became this one, okay? Just like this. He's about to grab her, maybe wrap his hand in a hockey grip and start punching. So remember, your first thing might be a block. If team punches, you have to deflect it right away, okay? If he didn't punch you, then he will, okay? If he is here, his intentions are very serious, so it's better always to intercept him and become proactive instead of reactive. So what Mem is going to do, once again, she's going to use that contact against him. She's going to grab him with her left hand, like this. You see, note the grab, knuckles towards you, like such. What she's going to do, she's going to strike with a knife hand. It might be silly, but guys, that's a very effective tool, okay? If you condition over here, then you can strike soft tissue or neck or collarbone with extreme power and extreme effect. So what she's going to do, she's going to hit him right where his bicep starts, right here. It's painful, it's a pressure point. She's going to hit him and step with her right leg simultaneously, like this. She's going to drag his arm behind him in a hammerlock. She's going to loop her right hand, like this, okay? And there is two options to do. She can choke him using his garment, if it's a denim jacket or parka, okay? She's going to kick his leg out, and if he goes down, yeah, she's going to choke him like a human gallows pole. Remember, in this particular case, once again, just assume the hold, the very fine end one. Yes. As Tim goes down, she still holds on to his arm, okay? So his body, his whole body mass is falling down from a knee kick, okay? So what's going to happen, she's going to dislocate his arm in the shoulder blade, possibly elbow, okay, and choke him. When you do it in your gym or in your dojo, let go of the arm, of course, pretend. In the street, yank it up. Once again, she's getting grabbed. She re-grabs him, possibly blocks. Knife hand, rotate, garment choke with a hammerlock. Kick the leg out. Good. Now, if he does not have something to grab on, then you apply regular rear naked or sleeper hold. Let go of the arm, sleeper hold, and choke the crap out of him. Another choke, another sleeper from an arm drag. So we're going to start like this, okay, right here. Team approaches. There was a verbal confrontation or whatever, and he approaches and he's about to grab her. He didn't grab her yet, but he's reaching, okay? And we're going to build it on interception. As Team reaches, Mem is going to grab him with her left, okay? As she's reaching with her right underneath her elbow, your conventional arm drag, she's going to pull him in and step with her left leg behind him, like this. Now, this arm is going to execute uppercut, not with the fist, but with this part, right in his throat. You want to jam it. Boom! And a sleeper hold. Sure. Once again, Team is approaching with a mean intent, and she sees that. She knows. As soon as he reaches, intercept, arm drag with a step, uppercut, and here's how the sleeper works. In Sambo, we call it pitля, which means a noose, okay? Because that's exactly how you work. You see, she lined up her elbow and his chin. Her hand is here. Then she's going to do, pardon me, inappropriate gesture, like this, and go with her hand behind his head. There is no way to escape. Also, she's going to tilt her head, because sometimes he'll try to peel this hand off, and even accidentally, he might poke her in the eye, not even without, any intent. So, duck your head. There is no way you can escape. Alright guys, now we're going to look into forearm choke. It's very similar to triangle, you know, head and arm choke, whatever you want to call bicep choke, but it's done against the punch. Okay? So once again, we're presuming that it's a street fight, okay? We're not talking about boxing, kickboxing, when the guy throws good punches. We're talking about, I want to knock your head off, okay? So as Tim throws a haymaker, and she sees it, or she trains at Ultimate Sambo, she's gonna duck under. Her right hand is gonna come up, just like this, okay? Now she's going to reinforce the grip like such. Turn around, please. Like this. And she's gonna jam this forearm in his throat and stop his head from rotating by pushing her head against him. And step back to break his balance. Guys, I hope you did enjoy these chokes. Probably you saw something new, and I wish you the best of luck applying them in competitions. Hi, my name is Vladislav Koulikov, Chief Instructor at Ultimate Sambo, Warwick, New York. I was born in 1974 in Moscow, Russia. And ever since a little boy, I was interested in sports, and more specific in combat sports. My father wrestled freestyle, and he was also into lifting and power promotion, and that got me interested. So I was predetermined, predestined, if you will, to do sports. Luckily for me, the best school in the world in Sambo, Sambo 70, was just around the corner from where I lived, and my cousin took me by the hand and brought me there because I showed interest. I was watching him train at his place, and he told me there's a place nearby, and in 1984 he brought me to Sambo 70, and I started my martial arts journey there. Sambo 70 is a humongous academic-sports complex in Moscow. It was founded by David Rudman, who was 6-time Soviet national champion in Sambo, which is a titanic effort. To win world championships is nothing in Sambo, but to win Soviets or Soviet Cup is the biggest feat. So he won it 9 times, 6-time gold medalist and 3-time silver. He founded this school in 1970, hence the name Sambo 70, and now, as I mentioned, it's a huge sportive academic complex. It's got 4 wrestling halls, one of which is like has capacity to host Type A tournaments. It's a big wrestling hall with balconies and everything. Few times national teams in Sambo and Judo come there to train before big tournaments such as Worlds and European and Olympic trials and stuff like that. And one part of Sambo 70 is sport complex, and right after the little corridor, after the hall, you go and you do your academics, you do your studying, your mathematics, geometry, and science, chemistry, and so forth and so on. So kids go there and they stay there full time. They train once or twice a day, and right after the training or between training sessions, they study and they do their academics. If you're a foreigner and you're interested in training, of course, you can contact administration of Sambo 70 and you can go there and train. No problem. It's a unique complex, as I said. The only one place that can come close in magnitude, I'd say, is Abu Dhabi Combat Club. There are 2 general directions in Sambo, which is sports Sambo, as we know it today, international sports Sambo, which is wrestling, recognized as a 3rd international style of wrestling alongside freestyle and Greco-Roman, and there is so-called combat Sambo, which is designed for tactical purposes,
stuff you study in militia, Russian police, and military. In Sambo 70, it's all for the medals, of course. And in the older days, when Sambo used to be sponsored by government, we used to do strict Sambo in Sambo 70 and some judo. But nowadays, because of the politics and because judo is an Olympic sport, they do mostly judo in Sambo 70. So it's ironic. The name, they kept the name because they want this brand, they want the, you know, the trademark, but they do a lot of judo in there. Sambo was developing and started developing in the 20s, and its official birth date is October of 1938, the same year when Aikido and Hapkido were born. There were three people standing at the roots of Sambo: Oshchepkov, Spiridonov, and Harlampiev. For the most part, the official point of view says that Harlampiev is the father of Sambo. However, all three equally contributed. However, Oshchepkov was a Kodokan student, and he was, in the beginning, he was promoting judo only, and then he started gearing judo towards Russian needs. And eventually he was repressed and executed during Stalin's regime. Some people consider Spiridonov as a true father of Sambo, but I guess all three people contributed more or less equally to the Sambo. The roots of Sambo lie in Japanese judo, Japanese jiu-jitsu, and variety of folk-style wrestlings of the Soviet nations. There were 15 republics in the Soviet Union, and almost each nation had its own style of wrestling, such as Georgian Chidaoba, Tatar Kuresh, Moldovan Trinta, and so forth and so on. And best techniques, mostly throwing techniques, were hand-picked and adapted to the Sambo rules. Sambo is an acronym for self-defense without weapons. It was born strictly as a tactical art, as an art of self-defense, disarming, convoying, restricting, choking, maiming, and so forth and so on. But some things you cannot practice safely. So therefore, a new way of testing people was born, which became a wrestling style. And other style is tactical style, as I said. Some people ask why Sambo emphasizes leg locks. And I'll tell you, there is warfare philosophy behind it. If you maim your partner, if you break his leg or his legs, therefore he cannot walk. So at least one or maybe two of his comrades have to carry him. Hence, you're taking three people out of combat. Some leg locks came from jiu-jitsu, but mostly all Sambo leg locks are done through research and development, and they are indeed product of Sambo. I don't want to link them to jiu-jitsu anymore. I want to give dues when dues are due, but Sambo is Sambo. It's independent and unique style of sport, self-defense. Unlike Asian martial arts, authentic Sambo does not have a belt system. In America and in other countries, sometimes people imply belt system to recognize the progress of students, which is fine. In Russia, however, the way to recognize is by rating and by hierarchy. The only way you can progress in Russia and Soviet Union and in the former Soviet republics is through your skill and performance in competition, and of course success rate. If you compete and you lose, you will never progress. So once you go through your junior degrees, you're gonna get to candidate to master of sport, and once you win nationals or place in the national twice, then you become master of sport, which is the place to be. And after that, you'll become master of sport of international category if you compete in the international events, and then you become merited or honorable master of sport. Well, Sambo is very tactical, as I said, and very street-oriented. So there is no reason for us to wrestle like freestylers and like Greco-Romans. And plus in Russia, very often it's cold, so you have to wear some kind of jacket. So therefore, it's very useful and very worthwhile to invent, if you will, style of wrestling with a jacket, gear wrestling, jacket wrestling, or whatnot. So we have what we call a kurtka, it's a jacket. It's akin to traditional Japanese kimono and a gi, but it has epaulets, which is a rudiment of military epaulets, I guess. And it has belt slots for your belt, like this. And we have special wrestling shoes. And we wear shorts, I guess not to be like judo. So we have wrestling shoes like in wrestling, and a top like in judo, but we neither full gi cladded, and nor we are wearing singlets as in freestyle and Greco-Roman. The colors of kurtkas are strictly to recognize one wrestler from another. It's blue or red. Belts do not signify anything but just the color to score you points. As many points to blue guy, so many points to red guy, and that's the only reason for the colors. My most legitimate training was in Sambo. However, I train in different disciplines in karate, boxing, kickboxing. I'm ranked Nidan, second degree black belt in judo. I competed in Naga and Grappler's Quest and did relatively well. But if you have Sambo as a base, you can very well adapt to anything else. Russia, period, has very rich history in warfare and combat. That's why I attribute success of Russian fighters in no holds barred and wrestling wise and sambo wise. As you know, there are two top heavyweights in Pride right now, Fyodor actually, Fedor Yemelyanenko and Sergei Kharitonov. You know about Oleg Takhtarov, and you probably know about Semyonov and Omar Suloyev. And just wait, guys, once we open the gate, there's going to be a flood of excellent Russian fighters. Let us just catch up. Because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a tailored grappling style for no holds barred. So once Russians figure out the guard, I'm not trying to be braggy. I'm just trying to analyze. So Russians are very much top fighters because Sambo and Judo offer very much wrestling mentality, stay on top. So once guys find out how to conquer the guard and work from the guard, they do know how to do that. Maybe they don't possess all the know-hows Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has. But once we figure out the guard, they in Russia figure out the guard, it's going to be a very recognizable force to reckon with. People's perceptions about martial arts getting better and better. So when it used to be striking arts-oriented martial arts community, now people see the beauty of grappling arts and moreover martial arts as a whole. So I see the bright horizon for martial arts, and I hope Sambo is going to become as popular, if not as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Judo. And a few people I'd like to thank. I'd like to thank foremost my wife, who's been supporting me in all my life beginnings. I'd like to thank my beautiful daughters, Angela and Rihanna, for being my inspiration. I'd like to thank Team Oshel and all students of Ultimate Sambo. He made me a better person and a better trainer. I'd like to thank my trainer, who really played a big role in my life and left a huge print in my soul, Sergei Vorotyagin, who was the first pupil to become a world champion, first pupil of Sambo 70 in 1982. And I'd like to thank David Rudman for opening such a great school, for founding such a great school as Sambo 70, and still carrying on the Sambo flag in America and promoting the sport worldwide.
Все, that's it. Unlock. 1 minute.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Давай, до конца.
Руку встречай, бери отворот. Ну, пряменько, пряменько стой. Захват возьми правый. Правый, опа, открывай руку. Открывай руку.
That's right, that's what you do.
Уходи оттуда. Уходи, Саня.
I'm sorry.
Руки, руки, руки.
From the Ultimate School, also in New Jersey, he is the Russian Sambo champion. He's the 175-pound category. Vladislav Koulikov. Give him a nice hand, ladies and gentlemen. Ultimate School, Sambo champion. Now to the ring for your final instructions. Let's get it on! Come on, Vlad. It's your fight, Vlad.
You can get the video from your friend's fight from that guy that was filming on camera, right? Some guy was filming the whole thing like this guy. Yeah, get that.
I was shooting right into the light, man. I think I got some good shots.
Oh, we got a hold of it. Okay, 144 into the first round. The lockout tap out. The Ultimate Jib. Ultimate Sambo champion. Let's go.
Like to have advanced middleweights. Advanced middleweights like to
Come on, Vlad! Come on, Vlad, don't let him.
ring number
That's it, that's it, that's it. That's it, that's it.
number one.
Do it! Good, Vlad. Got his arm? Do you have his arm? Good. Good, good. That's it, that's Oh, excuse me, guys. No, these guys. Come on, Vlad.
There you go.
I can't see.
There you go.
That's it. Sink it.
And a silver medal 2002 Sambo Pan Am Games. His opponent, Nick Wilsonini in the red corner. A fourth Dan in judo has been studying for over 20 years. This marks his first Sambo competition and he dedicates this match to his students. Let's give both fighters a round of applause.
What was in 89 he was? Still. Yeah, he's good though. He's good.
Come on, Vlad.
There's no pinpoints in this stuff. No.
Come on, Vlad.
Going for a choke. You ain't gonna get it that. Strong, I got you.
Yeah, Vlad.
Go sweep up. Armbar, armbar.
Oh, God. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Lock it up.
Come on, Vlad. Get out, Vlad.
He's got it.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Way to go. Yeah, Vlad.